Dear shareholders, welcome to the 26th Annual General Meeting of TVS Electronics Limited through video conferencing, other audio-visual facility. Before we commence the proceedings, let us get started with a prayer.
नमस्तेस्तु महामाये श्रीपीठे सुरपूजिते शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तुते। नमस्ते गरुडारूढे कोलासुरभयङ्करी सर्वपापहरे देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तुते।
Please note that for the smooth conduct of the meeting, the members will be in the mute mode. This year, being the virtual AGM, the shareholders have been given two options to ask questions or express their views on the agenda items. First option, the members were given the opportunity to pre-register themselves as a speaker shareholders. Two shareholders have registered themselves as speakers and they will be invited to express their views or ask questions after completing the AGM agenda items. Second option, the members were given the opportunity to send their questions or queries to the email ID of the company in advance. The company has received 26 questions which will be answered during question and answer session. Apart from this, the shareholders who have missed to pre-register or send their queries in advance can now ask their questions or queries through the question box available on the screen. The answers for the questions received through the question box will be posted on the website of the company within 2 working days from the date of AGM. The members who wish to inspect any of the relevant documents referred to in the notice may send the request to the email ID of the company, investorservices@tvs-e.in, and such documents will be provided through email. The members who have not cast their vote through remote e-voting may cast their vote through e-voting platform provided by NSDL anytime during the AGM. Kindly go to the e-voting icon, select e-voting event number 116342, TVS Electronics Limited, cast your vote and submit. Before we start the AGM proceedings, we have a small video presentation for the shareholders. I would like to confirm that the requisite quorum is present. Right now, there are 40 shareholders attending this meeting. Without any further delay, I hand it over to the chairman of the company to start the AGM proceedings.
Thank you, Santosh, and let me extend my own welcome to all the shareholders who are present today in hopefully what is our last virtual meeting and the beginning perhaps next year of hybrid meetings. So I welcome you to this 26th annual general meeting of the company. Again, this has been a year where we are looking forward, as the slide so beautifully ended in the video presentation, to what is a new dawn. It is indeed a dawn, and the sun is already visible, even though there might be a glimmer of clouds that are still visible, but they too will pass very, very soon. Now that the requisite quorum is present, I call the meeting to order. I first would like to introduce our esteemed board members. Firstly, Mr. M. Lakshmi Narayanan, an independent director. Ms. Lakshmi Narayanan is also the chairman of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee and serves on the Audit Committee as well as the NRC. He is participating from Bengaluru. Secondly, I'd like to introduce Mr. M.F. Faruqi, an independent director. He is the chairman of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee and a member of the Audit Committee, and he is participating from Gurugram. Thirdly, I'd like to introduce Dr. V. Sumantran, who's an independent director and a chairman of the Stakeholder Relationship Committee, as a member of the Audit Committee as well, who is participating from Chennai. Next, and fourthly, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Subhashri Sriram, an independent director. She is the chairperson of the Audit Committee, as well as a member of the NRC, and she is participating from Chennai. Next, and fifthly, I'd like to introduce Mr. K. Balakrishnan, who's the independent director. He serves on the Audit Committee, the NRC, the Stakeholder Relationship Committee, as well as the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee, and he is joining us from Chennai. Next, I'd like to introduce sixthly Mr. R.S. Raghavan, who's a non-executive, non-independent director. He's a member of the Audit Committee. He's a member of the CSR Committee. He is also participating from Chennai. And finally, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Srilalita Gopal, who's a managing director, who's participating from Bangalore. In addition to these esteemed board members, I also want to call out the important auditor statutory or advisors who are present. Ms. Geeta Suranarayanan, who's a partner of Deloitte Haskins & Sells, statutory auditors of the company, as well as Mr. P. Raju Iyer, the cost auditor of the company, and finally Mr. V. Suresh, a partner from V. Suresh and Associates, who are the secretarial auditors of the company. Presumably, they're all participating from Chennai. With this, I would like to now go and take your permission to deliver my speech. Much has been said about COVID-19. In fact, perhaps even though it is a terrible pandemic, I believe too much has been said. So I will be brief and talk about what we have done as a response to this dreadful disease. I'm very happy to say that, like all good companies, this management too has given its best efforts to protect the health of its employees, the employees' families, its community, as well as society at large, to the extent to which it could have participated. In addition to routine things like medical agents, we've done something very specific, which I'd like to take a few minutes to cover. Firstly, it's important to point out that all employees above the age of 49 have been fully vaccinated. Next, 81% of the employees in the age category 18 to 44 have been vaccinated. Of course, the unvaccinated portion there also includes about 8% of the people who have got COVID and recovered fully. So there's about 89%. So 11% have registered for the shots. These are people who are primarily in far-flung remote locations. And as you know, more allocations have been happening to urban areas. So the remote areas will take a little bit more time to get the vaccination done. Amongst the families of the employees and the extended ecosystem, the number stands at 68, which is, while higher than the national average substantially, still far behind. Our endeavor is to make sure that this reaches the 90% level by end of this month. The company medical officer, along with several volunteer employees, have relentlessly worked over the last 3-4 months on the vaccination drive. And this vaccination drive has not been limited to the company employees and their families alone, but also to the neighboring villages of our factories in Tumkuru, to the neighboring slums around our offices in Chennai, as well as in general to many targeted villages where the company has supported programs of 100% vaccination as a proof of concept to the local government, working hand in hand with the district and village administration, the community leaders, to see that we can cross 90% to 100% vaccination. And in several locations, we have actually crossed 80% vaccination. At this point, I also want to, with great sorrow, call out that we have lost 3 of our valuable colleagues to the dreadful disease, and we continue to support them and extend our sympathies again to their families who have had this irreparable and unsufferable and who are in deep suffering with this loss. We also have CSR efforts in education. I believe all of this is covered quite well in our annual report in terms of what we do. Quickly talking about the company's performance in the last year, and more details will come from the managing director. Despite the effect of the last quarter, the company was able to sustain a free cash flow of around 23 crores with very, very tight working capital management. The profit before taxes, of course, was substantially less at around 1 crore compared to the 3.5 crores in the previous year. Even this coming 3 months, as you will see, there is again a very, very big effect of the lockdown, but the company is recovering very sharply because now they have in place the procedures, the practices, and the protocols needed to surmount these kind of lockdowns. And in my personal opinion, I think this is going to be the end of the lockdowns as we can see in the foreseeable future. But who knows? We never say never, as they say. Coming to the dividend itself, I think given the fact that something may happen and we're still not 100% sure it will not, even though our mind says it is 100% certain, I think it is prudent to be a little cautious and keep some cash reserves. So the board is recommending to the shareholders that we do not extend a dividend this year and wait for the next year before we take a decision on the dividend. I trust the shareholders will see that given where the disease still is, it is probably being a little extra cautious. But as we know, it's better to be safe than to be sorry in these kind of matters. A quick word about the opportunities ahead of the industry. In the last 3 to 4 years, the company has made substantial changes in the way it operates, whether it's in the use of the digital platform or whether it is in the new business areas it's focusing in, or whether it is in making better use of its talent in the company. But 3 major factors are driving the digital growth in India. And I would like to just emphasize them again, even though many of you are probably aware of them. Firstly, of course, it is the massive use of digital for government and financial transactions in the country. This alone will move the country to close to 100% smartphones over the next few years. No country, including China and certainly not countries like the US, have the use of financial transactions and governmental transactions the way India has embraced it in a unison. This is the biggest single driver for mass inclusion of digital usage. The second important phenomena to note is obviously the emergence of 5G. 5G is basically going to be driving the use of IoT or the Internet of Things, which means remotely connected devices at scales of hundreds and hundreds of millions. This is going to create a much wider use of electronic devices and digital devices in far-flung locations, across sectors, whether it's logistics, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education, whether it's surveillance, and hence opens up lots of opportunities for players like TVS Electronics. Thirdly, of course, is the SaaS story. India emerged as a software back office superpower in the first part of this millennia. But now, with the growth of the Indian economy, several of these talented Indians have come out and started software companies using the SaaS model, using India as a ground for experimenting and maturing their products and then taking them abroad. So from services, India has moved to products. McKinsey predicts that the SaaS economy, as it is called, will have a $1 trillion market cap by end of this decade, or even before that, which means about a $50 to $60 billion or a 3 lakh crore software as a service industry. We are just at the very early days of that industry. This does not include the consumer tech or the ed tech companies that we see about in the papers. This is just purely software as a service. So these are the three big digital transformations that are changing India. About electric vehicles, which may be the fourth, I don't know enough to make a comment, but fortunately, we have very, very good advice and eminent members in our board who are very familiar with this, and that could be the fourth leg of opportunities that it opens up for the company. I'm sure the managing director will cover in her remarks more details about the performance as well as these opportunities, as well as the risks that stay in front of the company. So with these few words, may I hand this over to Srilalita Gopal, the managing director of the company, to complete the speech.
Thank you, Gopal. Good morning, all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome one and all to the 26th Annual General Meeting of TVS Electronics Limited. I sincerely hope that the COVID-19 pandemic has not caused any severe disruptions in the lives of your loved ones and you. I also further hope that all of you have been vaccinated and continue to take appropriate preventive measures for your own safety. This morning, I hope to briefly cover the following areas: financial performance of the company and its segments, initiatives by the segments, and our business continuity plan. Starting with the company's performance, a brief update on the company's performance of the financial year 2021. The year has been a challenging one for all. It was the same for us. But due to the unrelenting commitment and dedication of every member of the TVS Electronics family, the business overcame those challenges. And as a result, despite the temporary disruptions and interruptions earlier in the year, the company delivered a cumulative revenue of 224 crores with a PBT of 94 lakhs. I would like to recall the major segments of the business that TVSC has: Products and Solutions Group, or PSG as we refer to it internally, and the Customer Support Services Group, or CSS as we refer to it internally. Products and Solutions Group delivered 139 crores and Customer Support Services delivered revenues of 69 crores respectively. The distribution segment generated a pass-through revenue of 16 crores, contributing to 16 lakhs to the bottom line. This segment is now de-emphasized and will form a part of the Products and Solutions Group going forward. To recollect, the distribution services was taken up as in the past as a value-added service to one of our partner brands only. The de-emphasis is in alignment with the future strategy of the company. Due to the loss of business in Q4 of the previous financial year and the disruptions caused in Q1 of the last year, our profit for the year was greatly affected. Due to focused efforts by the Product and Solutions team, the cumulative losses were wiped out and we delivered a small PBT of 94 lakhs before exceptional items. The CSS group, while reducing its losses, was still unable to recoup the hole created by the earlier months due to COVID-19 disruptions. All this was possible due to focused review mechanisms, weekly rolling forecasts, and continuous monitoring of cost and expenditure by the management. The disruption also gave opportunities for growth. This was capitalized by launch of new products, service offerings, and acquisition of new customers. Due to these efforts, the company posted a revenue of 72 crores in the last quarter, which is a growth of 35% compared to 53.4 crores in the same quarter of the previous year. Similarly, the profitability also grew to a healthy 6.1 crores for the same quarter, compared to a negative of 4 crores in the quarter of this previous year, same quarter the previous year. During the year, the company also settled all its borrowings and became a debt-free company. This, in opinion, is a positive sign of our ability to manage crisis and be on top of the situation. Based on its overall business and financial performance, I'm happy to announce that our credit rating agency has reaffirmed the credit rating of A- for the company. A-, as you're all aware, stands for high safety. This credit rating is a direct reflection of the financial and risk management practices of the company. We will not only maintain this rating, but make all efforts to continuously improve the rating upwards over the coming years. Coming to the performance of the individual segments, Products and Solutions Group delivered a cumulative revenue of 139 crores with a profit of 7.7 crores, contributing in large measure to offset losses incurred by the CSS BU. To recollect, as part of PSG, we offered point of transaction peripherals and devices to the BFSI sector, transport industry, shipping and logistics, and retail segments, to name a few. Point of transaction peripherals include various kinds of keyboards, printers, scanners, and POS devices. Last year, we refreshed our range of products as a part of the ongoing process of product refresh. The refreshed range included mainly wireless keyboards, web cameras, cash counting machines, and touch POS systems. During the year, the company's thermal printer range gained momentum with its market share improving from 24% to 31%. The label printers range has gained market share from 14% to 22%, and the barcode scanners have grown from 19% to 35%. The company's Dotmatic printers, DMPs2, added momentum during the year by improving the market share from 35% to 40%, despite the overall decline in the market volume. As part of the Make in India initiative, which there is a huge focus by the government also, the company continues to focus and will focus on Make in India as a prime initiative. We hope that India will become a preferred global manufacturing destination, and we will aspire to feature among preferred partners. We are seriously looking at adopting many of our existing and future products into this initiative. The efforts and studies have already started, and we should be able to share more details by the next time we meet. Coming to the customer service support services business unit, as I already mentioned, it delivered 69 crores for the year with a loss of 7.4 crores. However, with continued focus on cost efficiency, I am happy to announce that from September 20 onwards, this BU has also turned positive and is now delivering profits. CSS as a business focuses on third-party repairs for well-known brands in the field of mobile phones, personal computers, and consumer electronics. We repair, install, and maintain these devices for our partner brands. In the past year, if you have had an issue with a Mi phone or a Dell or HP laptop, there is a more than good chance that you have come face to face with one of our repair agents. Customer is our focus, and there is a constant endeavor on digitization to make the business agile and scalable. We continue to take initiatives to lower fixed costs and ensure business continuity by proactively framing a detailed SOP for safety of field agents, employees, and walk-in repair centers. CSS forayed into audio and lifestyle products by onboarding 2 marquee brands for providing repair and maintenance services. The company has a network of more than 4,000 plus agents span India, offering our services in the mobile, personal computers, and consumer electronics segments. To accelerate growth, the company continues to invest in technology, people, and infrastructure. During the year, TVSC also opened its service offering to support component level repairs for display and PCBs. Towards this, we have established a repair and refurbishment center in Tumkuru for printed circuit board assembly or PCBA repair, as it is generally referred to, and display panel repairs. Also on offer is to repair and refurbish large and small appliances. The company has started providing refurbishment services to a few OEMs and e-commerce players. We will scale this up on the current products and expand to new product segments in the coming years. Business continuity plan. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to raise concerns with predictions of a third wave of infection in the offing. In responding to this crisis, our primary objective has been to ensure the safety of our employees, customers, partners, and to protect the financial well-being of the company. This will remain our priority, and we will not let our guard down. Given the importance of cash flow in times like this, the company has developed a robust treasury plan for cash management. The company revisited its capital investments and focused only on those which are required to rebound and for creating competitive advantage. Further, the company has taken various initiatives to manage and expedite receivables to manage its working capital requirement. We also reduced overall expenditures to keep the cost well under control. To ensure the production of the manufacturing plants, we have procured sufficient stocks in advance and initiated measures for effective and uninterrupted supply chain by exploring alternate sources for procurement. This has the effect of increasing inventory in the short term, but has paid off in terms of satisfying the pull from the market on the demand side. All safety norms are being followed, and compliance is given the highest attention at our factories, repair centers, and other locations. We continue to focus on digitization for improving the customer experience. Many in-house projects are underway to improve process and efficiency. The digital team is being expanded in line with the vision to make TVSE a tech-enabled company. People and HR. The human capital of any organization are their best assets. We have been very fortunate to proudly claim as our employees a highly persevering, motivated, and skilled set of resources. COVID-19 has been a challenging time for the employees who've had to cope with unforeseen work conditions, stress about health, and family disruptions. Our employees have come through with flying colors. They have wholeheartedly and enthusiastically supported all our initiatives and stayed firmly by our side. We on our side have done our best to keep their morale up. Work from home was encouraged and supported with technology and infrastructure guidance. Flexible work hours and benefits were arrived at. Ideas to make day-to-day chores more manageable have been encouraged and implemented. Mental well-being has been kept in mind, and sessions to deal with stress have been facilitated. Women were the most affected in this pandemic, with having to deal with work and family pressures. I can confidently state that at TVSE, our women managed far better than our industry peers. We are proud of them, and I want to mention here that gender diversity will be a significant part of our organization going forward. We will make it a happy place for people of all abilities to contribute equally with pride. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the employees for their commitment and service to the company in these challenging times, and look forward to their continued commitment in the journey forward. I wish to extend my special thanks to the families of our employees for unconditional support so our people could discharge their duties completely. I want to thank all my colleagues on the board for their oversight in this crucial phase of our growth, their support and immense encouragement. We would not have met our goals and targets without their constant guidance and supervision. I'm thankful to our customers, partners, and other stakeholders who have reposed their trust and confidence in our company. I would be failing in my duty if I did not thank our esteemed shareholders who have supported us through all the difficult times. Please bear with us and support us. We will not disappoint you with our future performance, and the no dividend glitch will be rectified. Strong pipelines and our well-defined business continuity plan position us well for the future. I look forward to the years ahead with confidence. Thank you. Over to you, Gopal.
Thank you, Lalita. We have already circulated the annual report, which includes the AGM notice, the board report, and the financial statements for the financial year 21 through email. It's also been made available on the website of the company. The notice was published in all the newspapers as stipulated under the Companies Act and the SEBI listing regulations. With your permission, I'd like to take the notice calling for the meeting as read, the unqualified auditor's report as read, the unqualified secretarial report as read. The remote e-voting was made available from 9 a.m. on 11th August this year to 5 p.m. on 13th of August, which is yesterday evening. The members who could not cast their vote for any reason through remote e-voting may cast their vote during the time the AGM is running electronically. Let me now proceed with the agenda as mentioned in the AGM notice. There are two ordinary business items of business and two special items of business in this AGM. The ordinary business is the adoption of the financial statements and reports of the company for the year ended 31st March 2021. This is to be passed as an ordinary resolution. And the second ordinary resolution is the reappointment of Mr. R.S. Raghavan, non-exec, non-independent director, who retires by rotation and offers himself for re-election. This is an ordinary resolution, as I stated earlier. In items of special business, ratification of the cost auditor, Mr. P. Raju Iyer's remuneration for the financial year FY22, to approve the payment of minimum remuneration to the managing director in the event of loss of or inadequate profits of the company for the remaining tenure of our appointment. This is a special resolution. The board recommends all these resolutions for your approval. May I now request the company secretary to invite the esteemed shareholders who have expressly registered as speakers to express their views and to ask their questions.
Thank you, Chairman. There are two shareholders who have registered for expressing their views or ask questions. For the smooth conduct of the AGM, we request the shareholders to restrict their questions to a maximum of 2 minutes and also to switch on their videos. The management will answer to all the questions of the speaker shareholders after addressing to the questions received in advance. Now, I like to invite Mr. Keshav Garg, DP client ID number IN 300214-1564690 to ask and express his questions.
Sir, I hope my voice is audible.
Yes, Mr. Keshav.
Yes. So thank you very much. Very quickly, I wanted to understand that we made 7.5 crore of operating profit in fourth quarter, but since we are hit in Q1 by COVID second wave, so at least from second quarter onwards, do you think that we can sustain this 7.5 crore quarterly EBITDA run rate? And also, what is the outlook for FY22 in terms of top line as well as margins? Do you think in the full year our customer support service business division will clock a profit for the full year? Also wanted to understand that in our product and solution group, I understand that we are manufacturing printers. Apart from printers, we are trading in everything else. So basically, are we basically wholesale distributors for IT peripherals? And if so, then how is our business different from Redington? And also, who are our competitors in our customer support service division? Also, there is an intangible asset of 15 crore on our balance sheet. So, what is the nature of this? And what is the earnest money deposit received from Brakes India Private Limited of 10 crores? What is the indemnity deposit of 25 crore from TVS Investment Private Limited? We had 2.5 crore of bad debt last year. So, is there any possibility of getting this money back or at least avoiding future bad debts? Also, in our customer support service, like the MD mentioned that we have tied up with many reputed OEMs, Samsung, etc. So, do we have some exclusive tie-up with them, or we are just one of the many service providers to them? Also, please tell us something about TVS eAssure. And I understand that we are also into e-waste management. And I think few years back in the AGM, we were told that company has made some portal or something wherein customers can basically sell their e-waste. So basically, if you could just give a broad outlook. And also, what kind of growth rates and steady state operating margin can the company make going forward? Thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you, Mr. Keshav. Now, I like to invite Mr. Santosh Kumar Surf, having DP client ID 120678 0000018019. I've just received an information that due to technical glitch, he is not able to join. We will try to connect him in meanwhile. Now, I request the Managing Director and CFO to address the questions for the questions which has been received in advance. For
So, yes, this is Santosh. You are now circulating the previously received questions, right?
Yes, ma'am. So in the best interest of the shareholders, we have combined the questions received from both the shareholders, and Managing Director and CFO will address to this. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Santosh. And I think Garg was the one who asked the questions, the same questions, I think, which we had received earlier also. To answer your questions, how is our business different from Redington? Redington is in the business of providing end-to-end supply chain solutions, whereas we have both manufacturing, we do our own products and solutions. We also into the business of repair and maintenance. So I think there's a fairly large difference between the two. And continuing from here, I think the next was who are our competitors. And if you look at that, then it probably give you a better idea of why we are different from Redington. So in the products and solutions group, Santosh, I think you can move to the next question. I'll just answer the other part, which is our competitors are basically companies like Epson, Lippi, Wipro in the past, and Zebronics currently in the products and solutions group. Whereas in the CSS segment, our major competitors are Jeeves, 2DG, B2X, CTDI, and so on and so forth. So we have got a mix of different kinds of competitors in both segments. What is our USP? I think we offer everything, all our services and products are highly durable. We have high quality standards, and reliability is our hallmark. The company has three divisions: products and solutions, customer support services, and fulfillment and distribution services. As already mentioned in my speech, the distribution services will now be a part of the products and solutions group, having been de-emphasized, and the reasons were also stated. Next. So the company delivered a revenue of 224 crores with a PAT of 77 lakhs for the past year. This, as you know, was impacted by COVID. The current year has also been impacted by the current first quarter has already been impacted by COVID. And as a policy, we do not make forward-looking projections. And given the uncertainty of the COVID-19 impact, I would, at this point of time, not be in a position to say anything on these numbers. But our endeavor is to improve our performance and continue to deliver great results for the shareholders. The supply chain impact was severe. It was a global impact. When the strict lockdowns were held last year, when the entire country was closed, definitely supply chains had a huge impact on the business. And then it also has added almost 15-20% or even more of lead times for procurement of components and even raw material. All of this has been factored, and as you might see in the reports, you would see an increase in inventory holding. That is a direct reflection of our planning for preparation for matching or meeting these supply chain disruptions. We are hoping that we will get ease soon, and then we will see normalcy soon. Where do you see the light in the end of the tunnel? I mean, it's a good question. I think a lot of CEOs are trying to answer the same question. However, the growth triggers, if I might put it as the growth triggers is the huge growth in the personal computers, electronics, and e-waste markets. We are in the business of repairing and selling and disposing in various forms and fashions. I sincerely hope that these will be our triggers for this year at least. Industry is poised to grow, just like any other industry, and with the efforts that we are putting, we hope to be out there doing really well. I think we received 3 very good suggestions, and I personally like them a lot. First was arranging a factory visit for our shareholders. Second was arranging investor calls or quarterly presentations, and which keep the shareholder community abreast of what we're doing. And we plan to do that. We will be in touch with you on that opportunity. Avelu, may I request you to answer these questions, please?
Yeah, sure. Tangible assets of 15.2 crore pertains to business rights, which was paid to acquire the customer support service business in the year 2011. The acquisition price was 33 crore, and which was depreciated till the year 2017 as per the accounting standard. Post that, due to change in the accounting standard, the same asset is considered as an intangible asset with indefinite useful life, and we carry the asset at the same value in the books. The company has planned the capex for the growth, the areas of growth opportunities, which we have covered extensively in the MD&A of the annual report. During FY21, the company has consistently improved the EBITDA. As mentioned by our MD, we are working to deliver better results for the current year also, and hope this doesn't get disturbed by any disturbance of COVID during the coming days. Q1 we had few disturbance, but hope we don't have any more disturbance in the coming quarters. Question is already answered. We work towards delivering a better performance during this year also. The earnest money deposit is received from Brakes India as a part of the ongoing business, and this is received for the e-auction which is carried out on our e-auction portal. The amount received is 9.97 crore, but amount at the end of the year is 1 lakh rupees. The right to use the word TVS in the name of the company is given by TVS Investments Private Limited, as they are the holding company. For this purpose, there is a brand agreement which was entered between both the companies. As per this agreement, we have provided refundable deposit of 25 crore with this TVS Investment holding company. Provisions were made in the books of accounts as per the receivables aging policy. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, there was delays in collections during last year, which triggered to make these provisions in the books of the accounts. Part of the amount is already collected, and we are making all our endeavors to collect the balance of the amount as well. The company has a strong credit monitoring policy, which will protect the company from future risks of similar nature. The only movable property that we hold is the land and building at Tumkur, which is the factory where the majority of the production happens. So we don't see any surplus real estate which can be monetized as of now. The production capacity for the utilization of capacities for the Q1 is in line with the last 5 years average utilization. And FY21, it was 52%, and last 5 years average was 69%. The other current liability includes payable to government towards GST, then gratuity provision, and unexpaid AMCs and advances received from our customers. The non-current liability includes the long-term portion of the unexpaid AMC. Details on the contingent liability is provided in the balance sheet, in the notes to the accounts, in the note number 32. The management took all the necessary steps to address the uncertainty and optimize the manpower cost. The salary increments were not given during the year FY21. And there was also part salary cut for all the employees, including management, for part of the year. 10% salary cut for all the employees, including management, for part of the year. The company launched the multiple products and services offering in spite of COVID. The details are covered in the AGM presentation, the video which we played a while ago. Cost-saving initiatives and production enhancement activities are done on a continuous basis by the management, which helped us to close the year profitably. The company has nil debt position, and hence the net EBITDA and no interest coverage ratio are not applicable. We are continuously monitoring our receivable and working capital position, which will help us to manage the ratios in the coming days. Since the company is at a growing stage, there are certain expenses which are inevitable. However, we are looking at options to optimize our costs wherever possible. The dividend distribution policy is based on availability of free cash flow, and after considering the need to conserve cash for mitigating unforeseen risks. All the board members are eminent personalities with expertise in various domains, which brings insight in managing the company affairs. The profiles of the board members are available in the company website. All the statutory requirements as per clause 49 are complied with. This information available as part of extract to the annual return, which is uploaded on our company website.
Thank you, Managing Director and CFO. Mr. Keshav questions were already covered as part of the advanced questions, and we could not connect to Mr. Santosh. However, we have now received the questions which he wants to ask to the management. I will read out the few important questions, and other questions, answers for the other questions will be posted on the website of the company within 2 working days. So the first question is, kindly let me know the budget of this year, that is 21-22, to be spent on R&D, and how many projects are in the pipeline.
We have an in-house product management team who supports us with our R&D work. So this is part of our entire product and support group budget.
The next question is, kindly let me know the order book position at present.
The order book position as available in a good position. However, we don't share the exact details since it is business confidential information.
Kindly let me know what steps are being taken to reduce or stop the use of single-use plastic.
Already our office and factories are plastic free since last 1 year. We will take further efforts to spread this across our neighborhood places also.
Thank you. So the answers for the other questions will be posted on the website of the company within 2 working days from the date of AGM. Now I hand it over to the chairman.
So Velu, could you also answer the question of Mr. Garg relating to the receivables? I think he had asked why was 2.64 crores written off.
Yes, sir. I think it is due to the COVID situation where we have to make the provision as per the aging policy, and we are working on collecting those receivables which are overdue. The provisions are made as per the overdue aging policy, and we are working towards recovering those aged receivables.
What is the progress now that 4 months of the year are completed?
Yeah, out of this, we have received 40 lakhs as of today.
Okay. Thank you. So, thank you very much to our shareholders for their active participation and asking questions. And, this is very, very important to hear your views. And we take all of your views very seriously and try to put them to use wherever possible. Coming to the proceedings of the AGM itself, the members who have not cast their votes have been given the opportunity to cast their votes during the meeting. Just in case you have some time left, so there is a tab on this section called e-voting, and that will direct you to the e-voting platform of the NSDL. So choose your e-voting event number, which in this case is 116342. I repeat, 116342 for TVS Electronics Limited, and cast your vote and please submit the same. E-voting platform will remain open for another 15 minutes, which is to 11:15. And Mr. K. Sriram, a practicing company secretary, has been appointed as a scrutineer. So the e-voting process starts now. So please go ahead and use the 15 minutes in case you need it. And other than that, the meeting is now closed other than for the 15-minute e-voting period. The consolidated results of the e-voting and the e-voting during the AGM will be announced by Monday. The results will be shared with the stock exchanges and also posted on the website and notice board of the company. The AGM proceedings will also be posted on the website of the company. And the answers for the questions received to the question box will also be posted on the website of the company by Monday. I thank all the shareholders again for participating and for your support during the meeting. The business proceedings of the meeting are now closed. Those who wish to stay for the e-voting, please do so. Others may choose to go on with the rest of their day. So thank you very much again for participating in this meeting, and look forward to seeing you soon next year, hopefully in person in a hybrid meeting. Thank you. Thank you. Santosh, I am assuming that the directors and others, shareholders who wish to proceed, have finished their voting, are now free to proceed. Could you please confirm that?
Yes, Chairman. And the e-voting starts now, and it will be there till 11:15. And thank you, Chairman, and thank you, the board members. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.